Stadium for the second half between Tip and Limerick. Let's go over to Marty Morrissey.
Thank you very much, Michael, and very warm welcome to Semple Stadium, Thurles. 47,000 people have witnessed the first half. These are the way the teams lined out from the beginning. Joe Quaid, of course, back between the posts and also gaining selection from the start, is one of the best hurlers in the country, Kieran Carey. No place for Mike Galligan. Brian Tobin took his place at number 13. The Tipperary line-out as follows: Conor Gleeson, captain at left half back, Colin Bonner centre back, and of course up front a very good full forward line: Cal, Butler, Cahill, Cleary and O'Dwyer. Dickie Murphy gives us the signal. He starts the second half. And what an interesting first half has been. That goal by Cleary, the essential difference between the teams. 5 times they were level, and only now do Limerick trail by more than 2 points. There's confirmation of the scoreline as you join us with just 20 seconds gone in the second half. And of course, one change as well, just to bring you up to date as regards the Limerick team. Pat Heffernan is on for Limerick, and Shane O'Neill, the full forward, has gone off. This free by Houlihan is dropping to the right and wide. And also in terms of Limerick team news, Mike Galligan was introduced with 7 minutes to go before the half-time whistle, and the man that went off was Brian Tobin. So that's the story so far. A very interesting first half, a great tussle indeed between these two players. Kieran Carey was simply superb for the first 20 minutes. Cloudy day here in Thurles, no sun, no wind, no rain. A perfect day for Munster Championship hurling. James Moran with Conor Gleeson sending that ball in. It's a poor cross. It comes to Paul Shelley. Down towards Kevin Tucker. Scored 1 great point in the first half. John Lahey with 2 Limerick players around him. One of them happens to be Mark Foley, who has the slither. Giving it across towards James Moran, and that too goes to the right and wide. And James Moran, I think, is apologising to one of his colleagues, but he's also picked up an injury. And the Limerick mentors are coming in now to check with him. And it seems to be hamstring problems, Sean.
I think this is the Limerick forward line are not moving great at all today now, and they have 2 changes made. Pat Heffernan is in at full forward, but they haven't been throwing any problem to the tip back line so far in this match, and I think they would have to if they got to get a grip of it, you know.
Here's Pat Heffernan, introduced at half-time for Shane O'Neill. O'Neill was doing a lot of grafting, but not really achieving an awful lot at full forward. Kieran Carey getting it down towards Barry Foley, and chasing after him is Rémi Ryan. Good ball in towards Mike Galligan. Nice turn. Whipping this straight over the bar. The best response to any disagreement with your manager is to perform. Mike Galligan is proving it. Now 2 points between the teams.
Great score by Mike. But they really needed this now. I think they need somebody mobile like Mike Galligan to make a bit of space, and that's what he's really good at.
Down on the sideline, Kieran Malooly.
Yes, indeed, Marty. Substitute coming soon on the Limerick team, almost as I speak. James Moran from Mahan has been injured on the half-forward line, and his place will be taken by none other than Frankie Carroll. Memories of last year's Munster Championship, perhaps.
Indeed, Kieran. So now it shows the depth of talent that there is at the moment on Shannon's side when you can keep Frankie Carroll on the substitutes bench. This is Tommy Dunn. Joe Quaid judges it, then gathers. Trying to get it down for Sean O'Neill. Batted down by Aidan Butler. Rémi Ryan. Good work by the number 5. Spotting Kevin Tucker available. Nero Gninaman. And that is going over Joe Quaid's crossbar. Tucker scored a great point in the first half. He repeats the dose in the second period.
Very good score by Kevin Tucker, but he's very good off his left side always, coming across the field. And Tip seem to have these options up front, that they have the guys to get the scores. Now, whether he's going to be left to Mike Gallagher or not up front, I don't know. Gary Kirby is not involved in this game at all today, so he'll have to up his performance too.
First touch almost for Frankie Carroll. Conor Gleeson gets there. Stephen McDonough and Carey again. Up towards Frankie. Nice pull in midair. Defending is Michael Ryan. Challenging Mike Gallagher. It's not easy to get past those two boys, Heffernan and Gallagher. Stephen McDonough. He's been very solid at right corner back. Also doing a lot of good work, Sean O'Neill. Gary Kirby. With him is Colin Bonner. He has no Hurley now. It comes to Pat Heffernan, who also has no Hurley. Noel Sheehy, Barry Foley, fair shoulder. And that goes off the Tipperary man, and that's a line ball for Limerick. Joe O'Leary from the Napirshy club there in Cork, the linesman at the far side. Scorer of 1 point in the first half, Barry Foley. He's played very well, despite not increasing his personal tally. And off camera, Dickie Murphy is speaking to Conor Gleeson, and he's booked the Tipperary captain for some more off-the-ball challenges on Frankie Carroll. Sideline cut is taken. Gary Kirby put off by John Leahy. Comes to Paul Shelley. Under pressure again. And that goes off him for a 65. Tremendous pressure by Limerick being exerted now on this Tipperary full-back line.
I think these tip backs, though, Mark, they're really psyched up today. I mean, they're covering for each other really, really well. Maybe their clearances aren't all that lengthy, but they're very tight and supporting each other very well. And these Limerick forwards are going to find it very, very hard to get through these guys.
The referee, Dickie Murphy, has obviously given a free here to Paul Shelley for some pushing. It looked as if it was going to be a Limerick free. Mike Houlihan pulling on it, and that's definitely a Tipperary line ball. The only disappointing feature of this first half, and for Len Gaynor and Tom Ryan, is from a skillful point of view, the sideline cuts have not been that spectacular. Let's see what happens here. Rémi Ryan, much better, right into the middle to the unmarked Mark Foley. Up towards Pat Heffernan, coming out to meet it, but Mick Ryan is there. Under severe pressure, gets it out over the sideline. And Limerick again have possession. Mike Houlihan coming across to take it. Referee Dickie Murphy just telling Frankie Carroll and Aidan Butler to push back. That's what I mean by sideline cuts going terribly astray. John Leahy gets the clearance in. Comes to Declan Ryan. Now that would be a great point. It is.
Now that's as good a score, I think, as you'll see in any hurling match at any grade. You seem to be off balance on probably what is his weaker side, and good, I'd say, 60 metres out on the sideline. Very good point, Declan.
You can see here that this is the second time he's beaten Kieran Carey. What a spectacular effort. Here's Kieran Carey. Down towards Barry Foley. Knocked away. Comes again to Paul Shelley. Michael Ryan. And again Tipperary under severe pressure. Keeping it in is Mark Foley. Declan Ryan now beginning to gain a little prominence and superiority at centre forward. Michael Cleary was fouled by Mike Nash, and that is a free for the Premier County. Champions are finding it difficult, Sean Stack, to find their rhythm.
Well, there are some great individual tussles here today, and I think none more so than Mike Nash and Michael Cleary. I mean, they're really tit for tat in there, and Michael is very, very hard to get space. I haven't seen Michael Nash playing this inspired hurling for a long, long time, and I think he's really holding that full backline together. But the Limerick half backline are dominating all the first half, and they have started the same, and maybe it's only a matter of time before you see Mike Houlihan being changed back to centre and bring Kieran out to midfield to give a bit of impetus to their forward line.
Tommy Dunn with the free. He scored 2 points in the first half. And he's accurate in the second half. His hat-trick of points changes the scoreline. Tipperary lead the champions by 5 points. It's a full house in Semple Stadium. 47,000 people are here to witness a championship semi-final. Frankie. Low down towards Mike Gallagher. That's a good cross. Good defending by Rémi Ryan. Into the middle. Houlihan onto it quickly. Going for the point himself. And that is over Brendan Cummins' crossbar.
Great score by Mike Houlihan. I mean, on the run there, that was a marvellous point. But a great ball again by Mike Gallagher. He has made a huge difference since he came in. A marvellous crossfield ball, well cut out by Michael Ryan, who's having a marvellous game for Tip at left cornerback. And but an excellent point there, I think.
You can see this beautiful point on the way. Mike Houlihan putting it over. Back it comes towards John Lahey at the other end, and that is over the bar. This is what we came to see, and now Tipperary and Limerick are producing it.
This was always going to be one of the classic matches of the year, I think, and even though the first half wasn't that fluent, I mean, it's opening up now and spaces are being created. And I mean, John Lahey is always the great midfielder going forward, and that just typified his type of hurling again.
Declan Ryan picking up an injury in the process there of that particular escapade. And this is the scoreline with 11 minutes gone into the second half. Tipperary 112, Limerick 10 points. And I'm sure that Tom Ryan will be very disappointed, Sean, more so with the forwards than defence or midfield.
And I'm sure Tom Ryan was very worried about his forwards a long time before today. And I mean, he's all his cards thrown on the deck now here. All three substitutes are in. And this is a cauldron of excitement and then fire down here, and there's no pullback. So Limerick are down 5 now, and something has to happen soon for them if they're going to stay in this contest.
A place in the Munster final at stake. And how Tipperary would love to win this one against the team that beat them in the Munster final after a replay 12 months ago. Houlihan again. Rémi Ryan, prominent at right half back, to Michael Ryan, who's playing well under severe pressure. A challenge there by Mike Gallagher was not liked by the referee, Dickie Murphy, and Gallagher is going to be booked for that illegal challenge on Paul Shelley. Let's see this again, Sean.
I mean, Marty, I think these tip backs I have never seen them as cocky as this. They're all going up and showing their hand. Rémi Ryan that time, Shelley, and I mean Mike Ryan, they're doing this and they seem to be inspired. Limerick are all that little step behind, and they're getting plenty of full supply of the ball, so they have to start opening their shoulders here now.
So Mike Gallagher is booked as Brendan Cummins from Ballybacon Grange in County Tipperary takes the free. Declan Ryan knocking it down for Kevin Tucker to pick it up. Carey is in hot pursuit. It just seemed to put him off.
Well done, Kieran Carey. I mean, Kieran does most 99 days out of 100 he won't give up, and that just typified his heart and soul is with this Limerick team. He chased back 30 yards there to get a hook on a man that he wasn't even supposed to be close to. Here we see the change, Marty, that we're talking about. Mike Houlihan going centre back now.
fact, now Kieran Carey has taken up the challenge, as we spotted there, Sean, on John Lahey, and Sean O'Neill seems to be gone back to centre back. Let's see, as Kevin Tucker, Mark Foley, Declan Ryan's jersey being pulled by Foley off the ball, comes outside to Michael Cleary. Anybody available? Cal is calling for it to the far side. Coming like a train is Lahey, but the pass is not a good one. He's facing Declan Nash, but Lahey from a difficult enough angle puts it over the bar, and that secures his hat-trick of points in this Munster Championship semi-final. Tipperary are looking good.
This man is sure causing problems, I think, but Michael Cleary won the ball on this side, and beautiful ball across the Cahill. His hand pass wasn't the best in the world, and Lahey had it all to do with a great score again.
20 minutes left in this semi-final. Declan Ryan are chasing and harassing and pursuing everything. To Cleary on the wing. Here's another point. They jump for joy in County Tipperary. They jump because the Munster champions from Limerick are on the rack.
Now Tipperary are on a roll here. I mean, they're finding all sorts of gaps in this half-back line suddenly. And I mean, Limerick now are gone, what, 4-7 points down. That was a beautiful ball into Cleary. I mean, he just landed at his feet, and he gave him all the options in the world to take his point.
Well, I saw Tipperary play Kilkenny here a few weeks ago in the National Hurling League, and the type of ball that they were feeding Cleary was something else. Gallagher doesn't need to feed anyone. Another point for Mike Gallagher. 2 in the second half for him.
Gary Kirby has come out here now right half forward to see could he get into the game, and he made a contribution there for Gallagher. He had a beautiful point.
It's a very good point by Gallagher. Tipperary mentors trying to keep the concentration going now. Liam Cahill is there with Declan Nash. Aidan Butler is the number 8 for Tipperary, and he's there again. So too is Cahill with Mark Foley. Referee gives the free to Limerick for that pull across Mark Foley, and Liam Cahill is being spoken to by the referee, who has again a quick word with Joe O'Leary. So let's look at this again.
Well done, it was good defending initially, and I think Mark Foley getting a bit frustrated eventually, but maybe he had to react to the pull from Cahill originally. Maybe he did have, in fairness to him.
So the pull by Liam Cahill gives the free, it seems, but for dissent it's going to be a hot ball. John Lahey has it, believe it or not. And for the chop down there, the referee, Dickie Murphy, clearly indicating why. And he's explaining it again to Kieran Carey. It's a free to Tipperary and to Tommy Dunn.
If Limerick come out of this from Harty, I mean, they will go down as one of the great teams of all time. I mean, their backs are really to the wall now. They're down here in the heart of Tipperary, surrounded maybe by thousands of Tipperary people in a team that's really flying on all cylinders at the moment. So they have it all to do.
Here's another Tipperary man, Tommy Dunn. His 4th point of this Munster Championship semi-final. Tipperary are looking better as time progresses. 17-18 minutes, in fact, gone now in the second half. Gary Kirby is now, as Sean says, at wing forward. Frankie Carroll playing centre forward. It's a pass inside for Kirby. Gallagher battling with Michael Ryan. He's held, and that's a free for Limerick. And that should be a free for Gary Kirby to take. Len Gaynor has done a wonderful job with Tipperary. They looked so good here a few weeks ago in that league match, and they're reproducing it in the championship. Gary Kirby going for his 4th point of the match. It's 12 points for Limerick, 115 for Tipperary. The dropping ball, Declan Ryan, Liam Cahill. Again, it's Declan Nash. been shouldered up by Declan Ryan, picked up by Cal, and that's gone wide. Liam Cal only scored 1 point, but he's always dangerous.
Oh, that's very much so, but I mean, Declan had options to hit it on his left side there, and he turned into trouble. But Limerick are struggling with the game right now.
Puck out by Joe Quaid, picked up by Davy Clark. Played well in the first half. This is his first piece of real action in the second. Gives it outside to Frankie Carroll. There's a point here for the taking, but it's going across the face of the goal, and that is yet another wide. In fact, Limerick now have a tally of 10 wides in this match. Disappointment etched across the faces of Limerick people, but there's still plenty of time. 15 minutes to go.
Only 6 points, Mark. I mean, 2 minutes to change that. You never know what happens coming up here.
Mark Foley waits for it, and it arrives. Under pressure from Kevin Tucker. TJ Ryan with Paul Shelley. Knocked away again by Colin Bonner.
That's it, Marty. I think Colin Bonner is one of the unsung heroes today. I mean, he nullified Gary Kirby earlier on. He's been supporting everybody. He mightn't look spectacular, but he's going through an amount of work and a good team mentally, I think.
Paul Shelley waits for it. It's a good relieving clearance. Sean O'Neill batting it down for Mike Houlihan to run onto. Sending it low up towards Gary Kirby. Knocked down for Frankie Carroll. It hits Michael Ryan, and he wasn't expecting it. Now here's Frankie, and again it's Michael Ryan. That's the sort of defending we've seen from Tipperary. Sean O'Neill picked up by Declan Ryan. Liam Cahill wants it across the face of the goal. That's exactly where he wanted it. Turns inside Declan Nash on the bend, and that's over the bar. Liam Cahill has been threatening an explosion which would result in scores for his county. That's his second, and he thanks Declan Ryan for a great pass. Frankie Carroll sending it in, and again it's Paul Shelley. Tipperary full back line have been under pressure for most of this game, and so far they've passed the test with honours. Here's Kieran Carey, and that is another wide. Nothing is going right for the Shannonsiders.
I wouldn't write them off, Marty, yet. I mean, this team are full of heart, and even though their game is struggling an awful lot, and the tip forwards are getting a marvellous supply, I mean, I wouldn't make any predictions at this moment.
Warming up along the sideline, Brendan Carroll, with Michael Doyle there, the Tipperary selector, in the background. Sean O'Neill at centre back for Limerick, Mike Houlihan and Kieran Carey at midfield, and Sean O'Neill's marker, Declan Ryan, grabs that, and that too is another wide. Now a tally of 7 wides for Tipperary. In fact, Tipperary in the first half had no wides until the 29th minute. So very much unsung. Barry Foley. That's going to be a Limerick ball.
The change that we spoke about, Marty, that usually Limerick make with Carey midfield and Houlihan back centre back, they just didn't do it today for some reason. And Sean O'Neill is not settling in there. I mean, since he went back, Declan Ryan has really come into the game. Maybe it's not his natural position. Maybe they can reconsider Houlihan to go back there yet.
Taking the sideline cut, Mark Foley from Adair. And again, it's a poor one. Frankie Carroll's strength wins possession. And Limerick are stuttering through this second half. Not even a simple pass can go accurately to a colleague now. And it's another free, however, for Gary Kirby. It's a goal they want, though, to get into it.
Well, their game has fell apart a little bit, all right. They're bad handling at the moment now, and Frankie Carroll has put a bit of emphasis in their forward line. I mean, he's making himself busy, and the balls are available, and they're just not ticking over at the moment for some reason.
Gary Kirby with the free. Just over the crossbar. For his 5th point of the match. The Limerick supporters are trying to get behind the champions, urging them for something special in the final 11 minutes. Nice skill by Butler. And he wins his free. Mike Holohan has discussed it with Dickie Murphy. And for descent, Dickie Murphy goes forward an extra 10 metres. And Mike is still giving out. Every single vantage point taken here. I don't think I've ever seen a Munster Championship semi-final draw a bigger crowd. On the pitch, Tommy Dunn hits that over the bar for his 5th point of this semi-final. 117 to 13 points. Can Limerick come back? Are the champions about to be dethroned? Good play by Sheehy. Gets out first Conor Gleeson. Didn't quite connect. Nobody really does. Again, it's John Leahy. Mike Gallagher, Kieran Carey, comes to Rémi Ryan. Bursts his way forward, wins his free. And there is a lot of frustration on this Limerick team. And it's shown on their faces. Faces of frustration. 10 minutes left. From Cashel Kincormac's right half back Rémi Ryan. Up towards Kevin Tucker and Cleary. Mike Nash comes to Declan Ryan. There's another point here. The white flag has been raised to salute Clanouty Rossmore's Declan Ryan's point. They're looking good, Tipperary.
Definitely. I mean, all the Limericks with them are gone now at the moment, and it's going to take nothing short of a miracle right now. I mean, time is ticking away, and none of them seem to be playing well or moving off the ball for each other.
Tommy Dunn is told by the referee to get out of the way. Davy Clark drops it up towards Frankie Carroll. Conor Gleeson is there. Down towards Tommy Dunn. Switching sides over towards Liam Powell. Comes to Michael Cleary. Two Nash brothers trying to prevent him. He goes for the point, and really he had better options.
He had an option, all right. Liam Powell had gone inside again, and I mean, he should have taken that.
Here's Kieran Carey. And that's a bookable offence. And John Leahy's name is going to go into Dickie Murphy's book for this offence. Free for Limerick. With 8 minutes left in this Munster Championship semi-final. Mark Foley. And they're going for the goals. Pulled on. Brendan Cummins to the wrong side of the post. They're protesting Limerick, particularly Pat Heffernan, and the umpire says no way whatsoever, it was the wrong side of the post. Aidan Butler is coming off for Tipperary. Brendan Carroll is on while all this protesting is continuing. Let's look at this, Sean.
Oh, Frankie Carroll, a great connection really, but I think Brendan Cummins had come all the way. He definitely just wanted to get near his post and make sure it went out right.
The umpire was adamant, and I think there was never a doubt. Tommy Dunn. That's gone wide. Tipperary now have a tally of 9 wides, as you see Brendan Carroll in action for the first time in this match. Aidan Butler, the man that's gone off. Pat Heffernan, lovely to Barry Foley. He has to go for goal. It's stopped by Brendan Cummins. Great goalkeeping by young Brendan Cummins. And that had to be a goal for Limerick if they were to have any chance whatsoever. Lovely skill by Tipperary. Cleary opening it out for Tommy Dunn. Sandwiched by two Kilmallock players, Davy Clark and Mike Holohan, picked up by Philip O'Dwyer, and that too is gone to the wrong side of the post. Puck out, quickly taken by Joe Quaid. Down towards Kieran Carey. Beside him, John Lahey. Is it going to be a Clare Tipperary Munster final? The pass was inaccurate. Picked up by Colin Bonner to Declan Ryan. A long probing ball to Cleary. He's inside the cover. Down he goes. Referee doesn't blow his whistle, and that is a puck out for Joe Quaid.
Definitely harsh decision on Michael Cleary. I mean, he did everything right. Instead of getting rid of the ball when he hit the ground second time, even he went down with his hand. There had to be a penalty, definitely. But I mean, when you're that far ahead, I suppose you don't get those decisions.
5 minutes to the full-time whistle. 5 minutes for the champions to retrieve this match. Lahey to Cleary, sending it high and sending it wide. They've had quite a number of shots wide in this second half, but they're so far in front that they can afford them, I presume. Mind you, the Limerick boys aren't champions for nothing. Lahey showing why he's on the Tipperary football team as well. That ball just barely kept in. Barry Foley down towards Pat Heffernan. Noel Sheehy with him. Heffernan dropping that to the left and wide.
I think that could be it for Limerick. I mean, that was the last one on hitting wise like that. I mean, it almost hands it over, throws a cap in at this stage. I don't give him any chance.
4 minutes left. Tipperary thinking of introducing Conal Bonner along the sideline. He's warming up. This will restore Tipperary's pride. Under Lynn Gator, this team has been shaping up right throughout the league as quite a formidable championship outfit. Kieran Carey calling for it was Mike Houlihan. Sending it in towards Pat Heffernan again. Nicely picked up by the big full forward, brought down by Noel Sheehy. No effort to play the ball, and frustration again in Limerick as TJ Ryan comes in for no reason to have an argument with Noel Sheehy. I don't know why the Limerick lads are arguing with Dickie Murphy, because he is booking the Tipperary full-back. No more. You cannot do that again, says Dickie Murphy from Wexford. Gary Kirby, will he go for goal here? It looks like he's going to try and blast it home. Sends it low, deflected upwards and outwards for a 65. It's the first time in a long time I've seen Gary Kirby moved from the centre forward position to wing forward, and that in itself tells just what went wrong for the Limerick attack on this day. The 65 is going to be taken by Mark Foley, and again it's a dropping ball, but it's a weak sort of an effort. Comes however to Frankie Carroll. Tipperary have it once more. Limerick forward line have not been able to break down this Tipperary defence. Liam Cahill getting away. Available is Philip O'Dwyer. This is it. It's over the bar.
I think that's the deal anyway, Mark. If I did a little bit of it was a goal or a point, you know.
Tipperary surely have knocked out the Munster champions. 2 minutes left. John Lahey goes down injured. Has a word with the referee and continues on. Here's Kieran Carey. And that's a foul by Kevin Tucker. To take it, Mark Foley again. Looking around for the options. There's nothing except to drop it in, and that goes wide. And Tipperary can now afford to bring in another substitute. Conal Bonner is being introduced. And as we all know, Conal normally plays around defence. And it looks like Rémi Ryan is the man that's coming off. I think, Sean Stack, they're trying out players for the Munster final.
It's hard to say that, Marty, but I mean, Tip have been showing signs of this in the league. A marvellous game against Clare, and they won by a point. They sort of put up a very good performance against Kilkenny. Like, this is not just a one-off day. This has been showing this for the last 6 or 7 weeks in their displays.
It's a very impressive scoreline for Tipperary. Philip O'Dwyer. Can he add to his first point in a championship match? Passes it inside to Kevin Tucker. And Tipperary are on song. It's going to be a Clare-Tipperary Munster Hurling final. We have reached 35 minutes of action in the second half. Davy Clark dispossessed by Philip O'Dwyer without a hurling. Tommy Dunn in towards Michael Cleary and Liam Cahill. Declan Nash to Stevie McDonough. Pulled on by Gallagher towards Gary Kirby. Still Gallagher. Brendan Carroll knocking it out. Picked up, however, and as the Limerick man is held, and that's going to be a free for Limerick. 35 minutes and 43 seconds played now, and that's the scoreline. The first county to lose their provincial title are the Hurlers of Limerick. And Tipperary, this is a sweet victory. Noel Sheehy, and before any further entanglement develops, Dickie Murphy has blown his whistle. And the referee calls it a day. Limerick, the Munster champions, are out. This was an impressive premier outfit by any stretch and by any standards. It wasn't brilliant Tipperary, it was a solid, good performance. Conor Gleeson will be happy to lead his side into a Munster final. Today was not going to be Limerick's day, and Michael Cleary's goal in the first half set them on the voyage to a final tilt against Clare. Full-time score, Tipperary 1 goal and 20 points, Limerick 13. And Len Gaynor has no doubt gained the plaudits. He now faces, with the help of people like the Bonner brothers, a team that he had a major role in putting together, the boys from the Banner County. It's going to be a most interesting Munster final. Len Gaynor, former Clare manager, now Tipperary manager, facing Ger Lachlan, a former colleague and a former selector with the Banner County. It has all the ingredients of a thrilling Munster final. On the sideline, John Lahey with Kieran Mullally.
John Lahey, congratulations. It must be a great feeling. You've dethroned the Munster champions.
It's brilliant, a brilliant feeling now, and I hope we go on from here. It's only a step. We have 3 or 4 more steps to go, and we're going to do it.
What a second half performance in particular. You yourself on your game clearly in midfield, and up front Declan Ryan playing very well.
Well, that's right, that's all down to Len Gaynor. He had his right focus for today, and we went about one job, and that was winning the game, and we done that.
John, what about Clare in the Munster final?
Well, Clare are going to be tough as well. They're going to do everything. We're going to be as good, if not better, as they are, as we were today, but hopefully we can do it and refocus on the Munster Championship final.
John Lahey, tougher here on the sideline as we on the field. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
And thank you, Kieran Mullally. That's the story from Semple Stadium, Thurles. Limerick are out to the Munster Championship. Tipperary will play Clare in a few weeks' time in that well-awaited, anticipated Munster final.
Yes, they certainly will. Marty, not quite the game that we'd seen in the football earlier on, but Tip, Tomás Mulcahy will have very few complaints about that. Very impressive today.
Very impressive. Not a brilliant game, hurling-wise, you know, overall, but I'm sure Tipperary won't complain about that. Tipperary themselves today looked a very balanced team, very, very strong in defence and very, very good in attack. So some brilliant players in attack, and they got some great scores.
Like to have blown away a team that have been in 2 All-Ireland finals in the last couple of years, and a Limerick team that's been impressive during that period.
Yes, and Limerick had a few good performances today. The likes of Kieran Carey and Michael Hoolan played well, but they sadly lacked a bit of quality up front, and I'm sure Tipperary will take a lot of credit for their victory tonight, but I'm sure they're going to know they're going to get a lot tougher against Clare.
We saw quality up front all the way through from Tipperary in that match. We've picked out just one score from it. We could have taken several just to illustrate this point.
Yes, and that was the difference between the sides here. You know, we see the ball come up the wing here, and as we see it, I think it comes out to Declan Ryan, and like some players here on the Limerick side were trying to shoot from angles like that.
Yeah.
Declan throws the ball across to the other side where the back is not expecting it, and Liam Carroll puts it up and scores an excellent point. And there was 2 or 3 occasions like that today where Tipperary got points from those circumstances, and that's great forward play.
It's Tip and Clare in the Munster final. How do you fancy that one then?
It's another ding-dong battle, I'm sure you know. Clare after last Sunday's performance will be all up for it again.
Sure.
Tipperary, that's going to do their confidence a world of good. They've taken Kilkenny in the league in the last couple of weeks. Now Limerick today, I'm sure their confidence is going to be very, very high.
Tomas and Tony as well, thank you for your contributions on the programme this afternoon. Now let's just take a check on the day's results in Gaelic games. And here they come. That was the final score then in Semple Stadium. 120 to Limerick's 13 points for Tipperary. In Senior Football Championship in Leinster, Offaly won 17, Wicklow won 8, Meath won 13, Dublin won 10. What a game that was. In Ulster, Tyrone won 12, Armagh 12 points, just a goal in it at the end. And in the replay between Cavan and Fermanagh, Cavan coming through 14 points to Fermanagh's 11. OK, let's take a check then on how the situation stands in the hurling draw in Munster right now as a result of today's games. There's confirmation of the final Tip versus Clare, and that game is on the 6th of July. And in the Football Championship in Leinster, that's the semi-final pairing. It's Offaly against Louth. That match is on the 29th of June. It'll be played in Navan, and it's Meath against Kildare in the other semi-final. That's on the 6th of July, and Croke Park is the venue for that one. Well, now a word about our Sunday game programme tonight. Now, we'll be looking again at highlights of the 2 matches that we've just seen. That's Dublin versus Meath and Tipperary against Limerick. With a look also at the other matches that took place this afternoon. Cavan versus Fermanagh, the replay there. The big Ulster derby between Tyrone and Armagh. And that second game from Croke Park, Wicklow versus Offaly. We begin on Network 2 at a slightly earlier time of 9:25. Well, for those who are looking for the results, our Airtel service will accommodate you with a guide to the club and inter-county results available on pages 246 and on 250. Now, Sideline View, as usual, turns up on Network 2 on Thursday, just after 8 o'clock. The concentration this week will be on Clare and Cork again, this time, of course, in football, and Wexford against Offaly in hurling. All of that to come, but it's time for us to go now, just as it was for Dublin and for Limerick. Bye-bye for now.
Nice layoff outside to Dazzy Farrell, inside the keeper. This is what they need.
Aidan Butler sending it across to John Lahey. There's plenty of green grass in front of him. He has to go it alone. Stay quiet. Saves, but looked in by Michael Cleary. Great ball to Michael. There's a point here for the Munster champions.
This could be a key moment in this match. He's put it wide. Dublin simply have to score here.